Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. This is Garland, a new yarn collaboration between Hobbii and Pom Pom. The 70% cotton, 30% alpaca yarn features 31 colors. The colorway that we chose is 27 Chipmunk. This 50-gram skein with 105 meters or 114 yards works up as a worsted weight yarn. The suggested gauge on a US 7 or 4.5 millimeter needles is 19 stitches in 26 rows per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For our swatch, I will be using a 4.5 millimeter needle size. In today's video, we're going to review and score Hobbii Garland using our 5 categories, which are availability, softness, traction, durability, and cost, to help you decide if this is the best yarn for you and your next project. Stay tuned until the end for a few pattern recommendations as well. Would you like to see how all of our yarns compare to one another or enter to win our monthly giveaway? Join our free newsletter linked in the description box below. Let's get started. For availability, we give Garland a score of 1 out of 5. Located in Copenhagen, Denmark, Scandinavian brand Hobbii is an online craft store that features multiple different name brand lines of yarn, in addition to other yarn brands as well. Garland is a yarn that was released as a collaboration by Hobbii and Pom Pom and is only sold on their website. However, they do offer worldwide shipping, and it didn't take too long for me to receive this here in the United States. For softness, we give it a score of 4.7 out of 5. First feeling the skein, I noticed the alpaca was soft, but not overly soft. The round fibers sticking up away from the core reminded me of a brushed alpaca. When it was time to work with it, unfortunately, I recognized a slight dry feeling, probably from the 70% cotton content. It slowly became more noticeable on my sensitive skin the more I was working with it. After blocking, however, is where its higher score comes in because it did get a bit softer. For comparison, it is softer than Birch and Birch Le Cotton and Alpaca, and not quite as soft as Hobbii Soft Alpaca. I'd say it's pretty comparable to Drops Alpaca. On a micron count scale, alpaca has a wide range of softness, as some are of course softer than others, but on average it's around a 24, which is softer than Peruvian Highland wool and typically less soft than merino. But we think this one is about a 20, so definitely on the softer side of its average. So this yarn didn't look like a typical blown yarn, but it actually is. As described on the website, the alpaca fibers are blown into the cotton tube-like structure. The color of the yarn actually comes from the alpaca fibers. As you can see, the cotton is a natural off-white color. Now we do want to mention one thing, the weight. This is advertised as a medium or worsted weight yarn, and we didn't really find that to be the case. We felt like it was more accurately a sport weight or a light DK. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. For traction, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. This yarn was very smooth and almost slippery when working with it. To combat this, you can always opt for a wooden or bamboo needle to give you some added grip and control. We were pleased that the cotton tube stayed together well and the alpaca fibers weren't sticking together. However, the dryness of the yarn, probably the cotton, did start to get irritating for my sensitive skin over time. For durability, we give it a score of 4.5 out of 5. Even though there is more cotton than alpaca content in this yarn, and cotton is pretty durable on its own, alpaca is not only softer and warmer than cotton, but it is even more durable and long-lasting. So if you're wanting a yarn that would last, we've got a pretty good contender right here. Alpaca is also less prone to pilling and will retain its shape better than cotton. When it came to the stress test, there was no pilling fabric to fabric, and when feeling the swatch with my hands, it made the alpaca fibers really stand up away from the swatch, not necessarily pill balls, but the fibers really joined together. For cost, we give it a score of 3 out of 5. For being a 50-gram skein, you can expect to pay $9 US regular priced per skein. That breaks down to almost 8 cents per yard, meaning a size medium sweater would cost approximately $90. But if that is a little bit out of your budget, Hobbii does run sales, so you could always keep an eye out for that. Overall, we give Hobbii and Pom Pom Garland a score of 3.54 out of 5. I was a little bummed with the softness of this yarn when working with it, but was happy to feel the swatch soften after blocking. I think it's really unique that the color of the yarn comes from the blown alpaca fibers. So if you're looking for a natural yarn with not a ton of alpaca content, but just enough to give you a colorful halo, this could be the yarn for you. So we had a little look on Ravelry and wanted to share a few pattern recommendations with you, hopefully to inspire you if you're wanting to use this yarn for a project of your own. The first pattern is Vintage Tiles by Marianne Nørbo. This free pattern comes in 9 sizes with finished bust measurements ranging from 35.5 to 67.25 inches with a recommended 7 inches of positive ease. It suggests using a US 7 and 10 or 4.5 and 6 millimeter needle size to meet gauge. It is worked from the bottom up in a 1x2 rib and textured color work. The body and sleeves are worked separately and then are attached at the yoke. After working raglan decreases, the neck is shaped with German short rows. Finally, the collar is completed with a 1x2 neck ribbing to match the hems. The next pattern is Foretoken by Two Worlds Together. This free pattern comes in 2 sizes with finished measurements of 42.5 or 51.5 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. It suggests using a US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needle size to meet gauge. This neck scarf or kerchief is knitted sideways beginning with an I-cord tab. It consists of an increased section, a straight middle section, then a decreased section, and features little knots that are worked over 2 rows. The edges are worked simultaneously in an I-cord. The length is adjustable depending on the number of repeats worked in the middle section. The last pattern is Jacaranda by Marianne Knits. This free sweater pattern comes in 9 sizes with finished bust measurements ranging from 33 to 66.25 inches with a suggested 3 to 4.25 inches of positive ease. It suggests using a US 6 and 7 or 4 and 4.5 millimeter needle size to meet gauge. It is worked seamlessly in the round from the top down with a ribbed turtleneck and raglan lines. The sleeves are worked in an easy to follow broken rib pattern and German short rows are used to shape the neck. It also features some ribbing texture details on the side and near the bottom ribbed hem of the body. Have you used Hobbii Garland yarn before? What yarn would you like for us to do a review on next? We would love to hear your thoughts and recommendations in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's review, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.